Okay, here are the notes for Quiz 7 Study Guide. Alright, what I'm going to do is just work out each problem and explain it, and that way you can use it as a reference when you're working on your study guide. So number 1, asked you to write an equation in slope-intercept form of a line through the point -10, 6 with slope of 2. You need it in slope-intercept form, and you're given a point and a slope. So the first thing you want to do is write the equation in point-slope form. So that would be y minus 6 equals 2 times x plus 10. Now, if you distribute this 2, y minus 6 will be equal to 2x plus 20, and you can add 6 to each side, and y will be equal to 2x plus 26. Number 2, ask you to write an equation in point-slope form of a line through 7, -7 with slope of 5. Okay. So for number 2, your m is -5, and you're going through the point 7, -7. So your equation in point-slope form would be y plus 7 equals -5 times x minus 7. The opposite of your y value given goes here, the opposite of your x value given goes here, and this is your slope. Number 3 asked for an equation in slope-intercept form of the line through -7, 4 and 8, 5. So you need it in slope-intercept form, and you don't have the slope or the y-intercept. So you're going to find the slope first. So your m is going to be equal to 5 minus 4 over 8 minus -7. 5 minus 4 is 1, and you keep change. So 1 over 15 is your slope. Now, you don't have a y-intercept. So there's 2 ways you can do this problem. One, the simplest way, is to write the equation in point-slope form, and we'll use this point since everything's positive. So let's go with y minus 5 equals 1 over 15 times x minus 8. If you distribute now, you've got y minus 5 equals 1/15 x minus 1/15 times -8 is -8/15. If you add 5 to each side, then your y is equal to 1/15 x and 8/15, -8/15 plus 5 is equal to 67/15. So there's your equation of a line in slope-intercept form that goes through these 2 given points. Number 4, ask for an equation for a line that passes through 2, -4 and 3, 7. This is a multiple choice problem, so all of the lines, all of the choices are in point-slope form. So we're going to find the slope and then write it in point slope form. Your slope will be equal to 7 minus negative 4 over 3 minus 2. So you can keep change, and you got 11 over 3 minus 2 is 1. 11 over 1 equals 11. So the slope of your line is 11. If you look at all your answer choices, they used this point to write their equation. So with a slope of 11 and using this first point, our equation would be y plus 4 equals 11 times x minus 2. Number 5, you're asked if two lines are perpendicular. Is the line through 8, 5, 7, 3 perpendicular to the line through 0, 0 and negative 1, 2? So the first thing you have to do is find the slope of both lines. So the slope of the first line is going to be equal to 3 minus 5 over 7 minus 8. And 3 minus 5 is negative 2 over negative 1, which simplifies to positive 2. The slope of the first line is positive 2. The slope of the second line would be 2 minus 0 over negative 1 minus 0. 2 minus 0 is 2. Negative 1 minus 0 is negative 1. That would simplify to negative 2. In order for these lines to be perpendicular to each other, the slopes have to be negative reciprocals. In this case, the slopes are not negative reciprocals of each other, so the lines are not perpendicular. And they're not perpendicular because the slopes are not negative reciprocals. Alright, that's the first 5 problems. Then you have 6 short answer problems. On the short answers, number 1, the question is write an equation for a vertical line that contains 9, negative 4. So a vertical line that contains 9, negative 4. Alright, on the coordinate plane, a vertical line that has to go through 9, negative 4 would be right here. Okay? It intercepts the x-axis at 9. It's vertical, so the equation for the line would be x equals 9. Number 2 asks for write the equation for the horizontal line that contains 9, negative 10. Horizontal line that goes through 9, negative 10. It would look like this on a graph. Here's your 9, negative 10. Horizontal lines are y equals lines, so this equation would be y equals negative 10. In problem number 3, it's very similar to problem number 5 earlier. Is the line through 9, negative 5, this is number 3 in the short answer, is the line through 9, negative 5 and 7, negative 6 parallel to the line through points 0, -3, 2, 2. So you have to find the slope of each line. If the slopes are the same, the lines are parallel. So your slope on the left will be equal to -6 minus -5 over 7 minus 9. So if you keep change, -6 plus 5 is -1. 7 minus 9 is -2. The slope of the line on the left is 1/2. The slope of the line on the right, 2 minus -3 over 2 minus 0. So if you keep change, you get a 5 over 2 minus 0 is 2. The slope of this line is 5 over 2. The slopes are not the same, so they are not parallel. Number 4. What is the equation in point slope form for a line parallel to, so it's going to be parallel to y equals 8x plus 10, and it goes through or contains -6, -4. So if the lines are parallel, the slope is going to be the same. So for your new line, your slope is going to be equal to 8. The point on the line is -6, -4. So with a point and a slope, you can write it in point slope form. So y plus 4 will be equal to 8 times x plus 6. Number 5. What is the equation in point slope form for a line parallel to, so again we need parallel to, y equals -6x plus 13, that contains 9, 5. So since the lines are parallel, your new line will have a slope equal to -6, and it will go through the point 9, 5. So that equation in point slope form will be y minus 5 equals -6 times x minus 9. And number 6. What is an equation in point slope form for a line perpendicular to y equals -5x plus 10, and it contains 5, 7? So your new line, since the lines are perpendicular, the slope of the new line will be the negative reciprocal of the original line. The negative reciprocal of -5 over 1 will be positive 1 over 5. So your new line will have a slope equal to 1/5, and it will go through the point 5, 7. So in point slope form, y minus 7 is going to be equal to 1/5 times x minus 5. That concludes Quiz 7 Study Guide. Good luck on your quiz on Tuesday.